Hi, I'm Rachel Sarala. I'm the Area Wildlife Manager for Colorado Parks and Wildlife Area 18, based out of Montrose, Colorado. And this is Alyssa Kircher. She's our terrestrial biologist for this area. Today we will discuss the Deer Herd Management Plan for DAU, or Data Analysis Unit, D-40. DAU D-40 is 941 square miles in southwestern Colorado and includes parts of Delta, Gunnison, Hinsdale, Montrose, and Ouray counties. D-40 consists of game management units 64 and 65 and includes parts of the Uncompahgre, Gunnison, and Cimmaron river drainages. Land ownership in D-40 is 50% private. D-40 has been on an overall declining trend since the early 1990s. There have been a few small increases in the population over the last 30 years, but it has never recovered to its former height of approximately 15,000 deer in the early 1980s. The population has been on a slight increasing trend for the last 5 years. The 2022 population was estimated at 5,900 deer. CPW would prefer to keep the current population objective range, which was approved by the Parks and Wildlife Commission in 2022, of 6,500 to 8,500 deer and increase its herd from current levels. The average observed and modeled post-hunt buck ratio over the last 5 years is 23 bucks per 100 does. The buck ratio objective set and approved by the Parks and Wildlife Commission in 2022 was 25 to 30 bucks per 100 does. For the 2024 herd management plan revision, we are recommending a lower buck ratio of 22 to 27 bucks per 100 does to better reflect the current ratio trend within this herd. Observed post-hunt fawn ratios average 51 fawns per 100 does over the last 5 years. Fawn to doe ratios have been declining slightly over the last 3 years in this population. The long-term population decline of this deer herd and low fawn recruitment, survival of fawns from birth to 1 year of age over the previous 30 to 40 years is likely attributed to an overall decrease in the carrying capacity across the landscape for a variety of reasons. Suitable winter range habitat has diminished due to land conversions and human development. As human populations rise, vehicle traffic increases, adding another potential impact to deer survival and movement patterns. Roadkills along the Highway 550 corridor is prevalent, especially for deer. As a response to increased wildlife vehicle collisions, exclusion fencing and jump outs were added to the highway right-of-way to keep wildlife from entering roadways. Exclusion fencing can inadvertently impact movement within home ranges if there are not adequate crossing structures. CPW and CDOT and other partners are working to increase permeability on this stretch of highway. Additionally, outdoor recreation has increased dramatically over the last decade. Recreation can have many impacts, including loss of effective habitat, changes in seasonal migration patterns, and potentially lower survival rates. Historical and current overgrazing by domestic livestock, persistent drought, and competition with elk have all contributed to the decreased quality of habitat across the landscape. Additionally, chronic wasting disease, or CWD, is present in D-40 at a very low prevalence of 3.7%, but it is still a priority management concern. CPW plans to increase populations to meet stakeholder and staff desires. Overall, the DAU's carrying capacity is likely decreased compared to historic plans, and it is likely that the current habitat could not hold the historic deer numbers. Increasing this herd slightly would be beneficial to the habitat and to stakeholders. This is the same objective that we set back in 2022, and we would like to shift the buck ratio slightly, however. This would reflect how current buck ratios are trending. Stakeholders desired more bucks on the landscape. However, CPW feels that the buck ratio should be reflective of allowing opportunity to hunt deer with the consideration given to management of CWD prevalence. The preferred objective of 22 to 27 bucks per 100 does overlaps the current objective range and is a decrease from the current ratio objective. The current 3-year average has hovered around 19 bucks per 100 does. The preferred objective allows for a balance of opportunity for hunters to draw a deer license, allows for a diverse age of bucks on the landscape, and allows CPW to work to keep CWD prevalence in check.
CPW plans to increase this herd to meet staff and stakeholder desires. To address management concerns, CPW will work with federal partners, landowners, and non-governmental organizations to help improve land management. These groups can help with large-scale habitat improvement projects and habitat management projects and regulate recreation on public lands, which could improve range conditions for deer. The last several years have been managed proactively to limit CWD spread, and staff sees this as an important strategy to continue into the future. This will be achieved by offering buck licenses and continuing the Uncompahgre Valley Hunt, which focuses harvest in CWD hotspots in mid-August before migratory deer move into the lower elevations for the winter months. CPW will also adjust limited licenses as necessary to keep within the proposed objectives and limit game damage.
This is a summary of the public outreach that has occurred so far. Surveys designed with hunters and landowners in mind were sent in the fall of 2021. Emails with a link to the online survey were sent to approximately 2,600 first choice applicants and license holders from 2017 to 2020. An additional 20 survey request emails were sent to landowners and outfitters that have expressed interest in herd management. There were additionally 374 respondents to the survey that gave us a comprehensive view of stakeholder thoughts and opinions. Overall, respondents were evenly split between increasing and decreasing the herd, and they preferred for the buck ratio to remain status quo. Additionally, hunters were randomly sampled to complete the 2022 Deer Hunter Attitude Survey after the completion of their hunting seasons. There were 228 to 274 respondents, depending on the question, that answered the opt-in questions for D-40. Overall, hunters wanted to see a slight to moderate increase in the deer population and were satisfied with their overall hunting experience. Hunters also preferred hunting bigger bucks, higher buck ratios, than hunting more often, which would be a lower buck ratio. The majority of respondents also did not feel crowded while hunting. The draft herd management plan for D-40 will be sent to local county commissioners in Delta, Gunnison, Montrose, Hinsdale, and Ouray counties. Draft plans will also be sent to backcountry hunters and anglers, Uncompahgre Habitat Partnership Program committees, the U.S. Forest Service, and the BLM. The HMPs will be posted on the CPW website for 30 days, allowing stakeholders like you to comment on the alternatives of the plan.
Thank you so much for your time and for watching our presentation. If you have comments or feedback on the proposed alternative, please follow the link on our website to comment on this plan.